Hello, this is James Helm of Helm Enterprises, coming to you today from the shop of JB Knife and Tool, also in San Antonio, Texas.
Those guys.
Those guys. Been working on a batch of big blades, and I just wanted to talk about them. We've got some interesting projects that have just finished up.
Yep.
Some knife makers will have a variety of steels they work with, a bunch of different handle materials. My approach, I like to focus on shaping the blade and shaping the handle to work with. I don't want to play around with materials a whole lot. I want to know a material is going to work a certain way every time I go to use it. So I've actually been paring down on the kinds of materials I use, narrowing down less and less what I have, so that I always know how something's going to behave. So almost everything that I make these days is 80 CRV2 steel. If you're not familiar with it, it's a German steel. It's used to make saw blades and I believe wood chipper blades. I was using a lot of 5160. I was very happy with 5160, but 80 CRV2 is enough tougher and holds an edge better well enough that I've swapped over to using 80 CRV2 for almost everything. It's what I won my episode of Fortune Fire with. That's what I made my cat's blogger out with. So for handles these days, I'm either doing wraps, usually paracord. I start with the foundation of neoprene. Then I do a underlay of paracord with the core intact wrapped around. And then I'll do a layer of paracord with the core stripped out and crisscrossed. This is a very old style wrap. I first saw it on a Mongolian saber in a museum display on Genghis Khan. It's also a older style Japanese sword wrap. There's no twist to it, it's just crisscrossed, it's fairly simple. And then the whole thing is impregnated with West System marine epoxy. So it's rock solid, it's waterproof. The question has come up kind of recently about blood and gunk getting down into the fibers. There is as much difference between this epoxy impregnated paracord as there is between a sheet of canvas and a piece of canvas micarta. I'm basically making a composite material in place on the tank. So there isn't anything that's going to get into the fibers. The fibers are filled up with the marine epoxy. So if you get blood or gunk on there, it will wash right off. There's a customer I have up in Finland that sent me pictures recently of him cleaning a fish with a core wrapped knife that he had gotten from me. And there was fish guts and blood all over the wrap, and it rinsed right off.
So what you're saying is through capillary effect, it'll suck in the epoxy and... Okay, go.
For anything that's not a cord wrap that has a slab handle, I'm using TerraTough. I have a video comparing it with micarta. I'm not going to go through all that again. It's a similar concept to micarta. It's stacked up cloth with a resin impregnating it, but it's polyester for the cloth and the resin. I talk about the advantages of it in the other video. But these days I'm not using wood, I'm not using micarta. I will be using a little bit of G10 on some orders coming up, but that's because it's a good customer of mine, and I've done G10 for him from the beginning. But in general, I'm going to be using TerraTough pretty exclusively for slab handles. Okay, this first one is a rig that I built for a fellow well-known in the archery world by the name of Ron Leclair. I'm not an archer, but I have heard of the company that Ron founded, Shrubos, before several different times, and it's always been positive. So he asked me if I would build something with a 13-inch blade, 13 being his magic lucky number, fully sharpened top edge. The tang is exposed to be used for hammering. feels really nice in the hand. It's got a good balance to it. It's fairly lightweight, so it's got plenty of chopping power, but it's not excessively heavy, which I don't believe in making a blade heavier than it needs to be. And the way he asked me to set up the carry on it is how I like to carry blades about this size. He's left-handed as well as I am. He wanted it in a high cross draw, left-handed, so edge forward. This lets you move around without it getting in the way of your arms. You can sit down, it doesn't get in your way. There you use it, pop it out, you're ready to chop. Back in. The sling is the same type that I build for my tomahawks. It's double adjustable and it's quick detach. So if you're getting in a vehicle, you need to get the sling out of the way, you can pop it off, get back out, you're ready to walk around, pop it back in, you're ready to go.
That was perfect timing. Cookies! Tell us about this bad Mamma Jamma James.
If you'll shut up, I will.
Wow.
Yeah.
Such violence.
About to see some violence. Okay. This is a 16-inch bush sword that I just finished up for a Marine. It's kind of a similar blade shape that I keep coming back to because I like it. It's almost like a modern Copus. It's 16 inches, like I said, but 10 inches of it are double edge, fully sharpened top edge. In the past, if you've seen some other work, the handle on bush swords I've tended to do as integral sockets, where the tang is flared out and then rolled around to form the handle. You could look up inside and it's a tube. Well, I have developed the multi-layer wrap to the point now where I believe I can make it more comfortable as the wrap than I can with the socket. The sockets are comfortable if you do them right, they're strong, but I feel at this point I can do it more comfortably with just the wrap. So I'm probably going to be doing bush swords with the wrap instead of integral sockets from here on. It's plenty long handle. I've got pretty good sized paws and I still have some extra room there. It's got a Turk's head knot at the front and at the back. Provides a mechanical lock to keep your hand from sliding off the handle. This crisscross wrap is comfortable. I was worried when I started putting it on bigger blades that it might be too abrasive on the hand. You might make blisters. So I did a lot of chopping around with the test blade and I found that there were no hot spots, there was no blisters, nothing like that. It grips the hand well, but it does not eat into the hand. And the sheath on it doesn't have any carry hardware. He's going to be attaching it directly to the backpack. It does have 2 pairs of 1-inch webbing slots. One of the nice things about Kydex sheaths is that the eyelets that hold the two halves of the sheath together give you lots and lots of attachment points for adding carry hardware, for adding pouches with survival gear, wrapping paracord around it, all kinds of different things, directly attaching it to the backpack with zip ties or paracord. So lots and lots of options. Get your small knife.
Get your little dainty knife. It's okay. Now,
remember, all knives are beautiful.
But small knives matter.
Small knives matter.
It's not the size of your knife that matters.
It's how you use
It's
it.
how you use it. That's what guys with little knives
Look,
do.
in the war.
Okay. The spring here is something that I forged out without a customer of mine that just forged it as I was working on my other big blades and put it up for sale on my Instagram account, and it was snatched up before the day was over. That represents something I'm going to be doing more of. I've had my books closed to new orders for several years now because I just have so much work stacked up. I do take new orders from law enforcement, military, first responders, but if you are not one of those, it's been kind of hard to get one of my blades. So I'd like to start doing some more, once a month while I'm working on a batch of something else, just forge something out, keep the creative juices flowing, and it'll be available on my Instagram account. It'll be available on my Facebook account. So if you see one, it's first come, first serve. This guy is very happy with the progress pictures. And he told me he hasn't been this excited to get a blade in a while. This one reminds me of something you see a background character in the 90s cartoon Pirates of Darkwater might be carrying. It's about a 12, 13-inch blade. It's a nice stout spine. It drops below the level of knuckles a little bit more than I typically do. So very powerful chopper. Science! In this case, on top of the neoprene foundation is 2 layers of hemp cord that are then impregnated with the same West System Marine epoxy. The cord gives it form and gives it texture, but the epoxy is what does the work on these kinds of angles. Any blade that widens quite a bit towards the end makes making a sheath for it kind of difficult. So I've tended to make these open back sheaths that have a retention strap that hold the blade in place from falling out. So you can still sheath it and unsheath it easily, but it's not going to just fall out on you. Okay, and the last and smallest blade in this batch is a 7¼ inch Tanto. This one was bought by the same Finnish customer that I mentioned earlier. Interesting guy. He's from Finland and he studies Filipino martial arts. So, kind of neat. This is another one that I had forged it out with no customer in mind. Posted it on my Instagram account and it got claimed pretty quick. So, like I said, if you want to get one of my blades, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. I only use my Facebook page to forward stuff from my Instagram account, so either one works, but that's the best way to know when I have something available. He requested that I do the bottom of the wrap in the red color. Anyway, that's what I've got ready for now. I'm about to get these all packed up and off to their respective new owners. You'll notice that I'm sporting the new Helm Enterprises t-shirt. If you have one of these on order, I'm going to try to get these out to y'all pretty quick. If you'd like to order one, get in on the next batch. Shoot me an email at helmforge@gmail.com and I'll get you on the list for the next time we get some print. So, until next time, y'all take care. I seriously need to just buy a tripod. It would go so much
How'd you know
quicker.
Tobin's nickname in high school?
It would go so much quicker.
It's kind of a reverse nickname, but hey.
I'm I'm not an archer, but I watched The Hunger Games with my girlfriend.
Girlfriend, really?
Wife.
Oh, I thought boyfriend.
She's still my
Go on. I saw the Hunger Games with my man. It was so exciting. It's like the best thing I'd ever seen.
The less you do that, the
Yes.
quicker we're through this.
You don't have to be such a bitch. Oh my gosh.
Kind of bring it out of me.
That's what she said. Okay,
Come on.
go on.